Bro Daggets, it is Nofap November the 19th. Man, how time flies. Anyway, today we're going to talk about what to do on the days that are just easy, the days where you're kind of just coasting and you're not having a whole lot of temptations at all. Because what you do on those days is just important as what you do, well, almost as important. Almost as important. Very nearly as important. It's very, very close. As important as what you do on the days when you are facing serious temptation. And look at it like this, okay? A lot of times the temptation is to kind of just chill on the days when it's easy, when we're not having urges or anything like that, when it's just kind of, you know what, today's just not really even a threat right now. It's a little bit of a trap though, and you're really missing out on a lot if that's the attitude that you take towards that. Because remember, this isn't just about saying you did Nofap November, or it's not even just about quitting porn or anything like that. The only reason we get rid of these bad things is to replace them with the good things. So if you're just kind of coasting, you're just kind of existing, then you're still not getting everything that you could out of this. And in a lot of ways, in a lot of situations, Nofap and quitting porn and all that is going to help you to become more motivated just in general. But that doesn't mean we can just take it easy and let nature take its course and let us naturally get more motivated and become more productive and stuff like that. But we've actually got to put some work into it. And so just to give you an idea of how this kind of makes sense, let's take a look at warfare for a second here, because you are in a war. Remember that. This is definitely a war. In warfare, when you seize an important position, you seize, say, a hill or any kind of important piece of land or anything like that, you don't just push the enemy out and then just kind of be like, okay, yeah, I guess we're good now, we can just chill. No. What do you move on to? You start fortifying that position. You start securing it against future attacks. And we have to be that same way about our lives. When we've gotten to a point where we have a day or a few days that are just kind of, we just kind of won those days back for ourselves. If we won that portion of our life back, we can't just chill and say, okay, I guess today I can just kind of take it easy. We've got to get to fortifying our position. We've got to get to securing that and, reinforcing our defenses, getting to the point where the next battle will be that much more manageable. And so there are a lot of ways that you can do this. Obviously, you can continue to show a lot of interest in learning about how to quit porn and stay off porn. Look into all these people who write about Nofap, who talk about it, who give their own testimonies, their own experiences, their own strategies, all that kind of stuff. I've got tons of videos on that. There's tons of other people who have videos on that. There's really good literature on that. Your Brain on Porn is an excellent website. Fight the New Drug is an excellent organization, stuff like that. It's really good to stay immersed in that kind of stuff and to stay on that kind of train of thought of fighting this war and keeping it out, even on the days when it doesn't really feel like a war. It kind of feels like it's easy, like it's a cakewalk. So definitely try to reinforce your mind with all that kind of stuff. Build up those defenses that way. And the other thing you can do, and this is really the most significant, is you want to start building the kind of lifestyle that you would never trade for pornography. You want to start investing your time and your energy in things that are really, really meaningful, things that are really, really fulfilling, things that are more in line with, God's purpose for you. And if you don't know what that purpose is yet, then you should be paying attention and studying and trying to find that out. And there's all kinds of ways to look for that. God knows whatever way that you have to be shown, and I think that if you're committed to Him, and if you're serious about seeking Him out and following Him and obeying Him, then He will make that known to you at the appropriate time. For me, it was kind of partially through a book by Andrew Schwab, say it right, called The Tin Soldiers. And I had to read that book twice because the first time I wasn't really ready for it. It didn't really, I wasn't really ready to accept it. And the second time it kind of hit home. It's like, okay, now it's becoming more clear to me some of what I'm supposed to do with my life, some of the reasons that I've been put here. And so, yeah, I do recommend that book if you're, similar to me, you're a young guy who isn't really sure, where you're supposed to go, because that's where I was at. So again, The Tin Soldiers by Andrew Schwab, great book. Read it twice if it doesn't really sink in the first time. And other than that, just setting yourself up to be a more effective individual in the future for the rest of your life. Because if you're going to do something, you want to do it well, do it effectively, and in order to do that, you have to have this development and this strength. And spiritual health, physical strength, emotional strength, and intellectual strength are going to be really important. Developing all 4 of those areas in your life is going to be really important towards fulfilling your purpose effectively. And God will give you all of the opportunities that you need to strengthen those things, to strengthen those aspects of yourself as much as is needed. But you still have to seek it out and work for it and apply yourself towards that. And so what does this mean? Well, it means spending time in the Word, spending time in Scripture. It means spending a lot of time in prayer. It means spending time with other believers, with other men who are trying to go where you're wanting to go. Men who even might be where you want to be, mentors and stuff like that. Spend a lot of time with those kinds of people and studying those kinds of people. And then, as for the other stuff, physical strength, emotional strength, intellectual strength, this is going to be reading. This is going to be working out. Exercise is important. It's not just for dudes who want to show off or anything like that. Your body is a temple, and it's important to take care of it and to make it a really good temple. And as a man, just your role in this world, who you are and what God has created you to be. There are certain expectations of the kind of things you're going to do. Men are active. We get things done. Sometimes we have to use violence to stop other people from doing bad things. And so we should all be in a physical condition to help others, to protect others, to be effective in everything that we do, everything we put our hands to. And then intellectual strength, of course, you want to know what you're doing. Books are good for that. I'm not going to tell you what you should read or anything like that, besides the Bible, of course. I'm not going to give you a list of, 10 books you need to read in order to be a good, godly man. No, not any of that. But you should be reading meaningful stuff. You should be feeling, or listening to whatever. There's podcasts that are great. There are sermons that are great. There's all kinds of stuff. But try to build that intellectual strength for the stuff that God is going to be having you do as a man in your life. And then, of course, emotional strength. Man, this is big for guys, especially nowadays. Lots and lots of weak men. I'll just say that. But spiritual growth is going to tie in here. Physical discipline is going to tie in here. This is all going to really help your emotional health. Maybe even more than directly focusing on the emotional health bit. I'm not 100% sure, but I know some people who managed to overcome a lot of emotional issues through spiritual development, through physical training and things like that. It all kind of ties into each other. So all 4 of these areas are important to grow in: spiritual, physical, intellectual, and emotional. These are all aspects of you and your character that are really important to who you are, to what you're going to be doing, and how you affect others. Because that's one of the most important things for us in this life, is how we interact, how we impact others. God gave us 2 biggest commandments: love God and love others. Those are the most important things for us, and so we should be preparing and equipping ourselves to do that. And once you start to do that, once you start to live in that way, once you start to live a life that is oriented towards all that, you're going to have a lot more to look at and say, no, this is so much better than living a life addicted to porn. This is so much better than just pursuing this fruitless pleasure, this fruitless just waste of energy, this fruitless addiction. And so, that really is the gist of it. On the days when it's easy, on the days when it seems like you can just kind of coast, don't just coast. Don't just take it easy. You should be focusing on... Oh, hello, dog. Random dog showed up. I have no idea whose dog this is. But anyway, I bet he hates pornography. Don't you hate pornography? That's awesome. Anyway, man, where was I? That was crazy. But anyway, focus on building the kind of life that you would never trade for pornography, that you never trade for any kind of addiction like that, okay? There he goes. Focus on building that life, and that's going to give you so much more to say yes to. We talked about this in the last video, I think. Have something to say yes to is going to make it a lot easier than just saying no to pornography. Just saying no does work. That's what I did for the longest time. But it really is easier to have something to say yes to have something to work towards instead of just something to fight against, if that makes sense. So do that. Fortify yourself. Fortify your life. Build upon it. Build things that are going to benefit you and help you and take you further. And there's probably the dog's owners. But anyway, that's about it for now. So I think that really does take care of everything I wanted to say. So y'all have a, hey, how you doing? But yeah, that's about it. People are awesome, by the way. I love these people. I just love my city and all that. It's great people. But anyway, y'all have a lovely day. Do not watch pornography, okay? Don't go back to that. Start building something meaningful, build a life that's worth living for. Okay? But yeah, let's do it. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. This is, if people do this, if people actually take this seriously and do this right, do this well, and really live for God and cut out all this other stuff that's holding us back, it is going to seriously shake the world, and that is exciting. Even forgetting how it's going to shake up your life. This will shake up the world if men start being the way God intended us to be. And this is a big part of that. So let's do it, y'all. Subscribe to keep up with this in the future, because we ain't done here. There's going to be more and more and more and more. And it's going to keep getting better and better. But yeah, keep it up. Nofap November, all that good stuff. It is great. It's been great. It's going to be great. And if you messed up, I say this every single time. I sound like a broken record now. But if you messed up, get back up and keep going. This isn't about November. This is about your life. So get your life right. And we're going to make ourselves great again. But yeah, let's do it. Y'all take it easy, but not too easy. Have a lovely, wonderful, wonderful day. God bless you guys, and I will talk to you later.